a 1,000 sub Ask Me Anything celebration live stream, and here it is. Kind of stressed right now. My dad's in the hospital. I think I told you he has cancer, and he got an infection, and he was getting, I caught it early. I caught his infection early, and so it's no big deal. But they are, they're still trying to sort things out. So while he's in there, and while I don't really have to worry about him because I know he's getting good care, I decided to go ahead and do my 1,000 sub AMA live stream. So here I am. And in case nobody comes in, which I'm hoping, that people will come in. Hey, Marianne. But if people don't come in, Marianne's here. That I've got other stuff to talk about. Marianne, this is my Ask Me Anything 1,000 sub celebration live stream. So you got anything to ask me? Well, I'm waiting for her to respond. Since my dad, since I am taking care of my dad, obviously not right now because he's in the hospital, but since I am taking care of my dad, my uploads have kind of not been every day. And not only am I taking care of my dad, I'm fine, Marianne. A little bit stressed, but I'm fine. So not only am I taking care of my dad, but my videos are a bit longer for monetization purposes. So that's why I don't upload every day. Thank you, Marianne. He's actually getting better. Like I said, he is in the hospital, so he's getting, very good care. And I did catch it early, so no problems there. And I am planning on doing more. Sorry. I am planning on doing more live streams just to, just in case I don't have an upload like every other day. Like I've been not having an upload every other day just because it's been crazy here and I never know when I have to go help my dad. I do plan on doing more live streams. Generally when he's taking a nap. That would probably be best for me to do my live streams is when he's taking a nap. Hey, Hayward Lomi. Hayward Jeb Lomi. Thank you very much. And hey, I got monetized. Yay! So anyway, yeah, onward and upward. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's Callie. Hey, Pasta Babe Linda James. Thank you so much. And, so anyway, just in case you're wondering, those are bags for recycling. Recycling place just opened up like maybe a week ago or something, and we haven't really been able to get over there and do any recycling. So so that's what those are. And let's see what else is going on. One of these days, well, first of all, before I do that, I wanted to ask you, I I was planning on doing an episode of the Satanic Panic Down Under. Is that something you would be interested in, or, you know, should I just go ahead and not worry about the Satanic Panic Down Under episode, or, you know, what do you want me to do with that? I'm almost through with that series, by the way. Oh, cool. So it's very hot in Virginia and muggy, right? So anyway, so yeah. So I plan on doing more live streams. And like I said, my episodes are longer. A lot of it has to do with the monetization issue, but again, you know, it also has to do with, you know, since I'm not uploading every day like I used to, I at least want you to get more bang for your buck, so to speak. So, yeah. I don't know how long the Jehovah's Witness series is going on. I'm actually using this book right here, Apocalypse Delayed. And if you can see my bookmark, so that's about how far I've gotten into the book. For Apocalypse Delayed. Now, I know I have some XJWs in here, so I want to go ahead and ask you, why on earth, after the 1975 fiasco, why on earth did people stay? Why didn't they leave? I mean, I think Christianity's a false religion anyway, but oh my goodness, Marianne, are you okay? So I'm just confused as why many of the JWs stayed. I know a lot of them left, but those who left were, some of them were longtime JWs, yes, but a lot of them have been newly brought in because of 1975. So they basically messed with your mind, Apostle Babe. Okay. I gotcha. You know, people think memory is this wonderful thing, and it's like pictures and you can go back, but it's really not that at all. You know, I mean, there's so much to memory that sometimes you even wonder if your memories are true. You know, like when I did the Satanic Panic about the repressed memories, you know, so memory is a very, very tricky thing. And yes, Marianne, I did read that they blamed the witnesses. So anyway, so my Satanic Panic series is going to be coming to an end. I don't know whether I'm going to start a new series in place of the Satanic Panic series, or whether or not, since I'm not uploading as much, I'm just going to not start a new series and then finish like the rest of my series. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but you know, I'm still figuring that one out. Um, and I have so much I want to do on my channel. Oh, I'm so sorry, Marianne. Yeah, that disease is awful. I had a friend with it, and she was constantly in the hospital. They have treatments for it now, but you know, they still don't live as long as when my friend died. She was about the age that CF patients could expect to live at that time, and she died around 6 or 7, and that was the age. That was like the limit of a CF patient's life. Now, depending upon the severity of the CF, it's now up to 20 years. So, you know, still short, but, you know, they're getting there. I'm sorry. Like I said, my live streams aren't scripted, and this is why I have a script for my edited videos, so I don't have all the ums. Yeah, Marianne, I am going to do those, just like I'm going to do Norse. I'm just not sure when. I'm going to try, no promises, but I am going to try to bring my mini videos back. That way, if I don't upload a longer video on one day, then at least you have a mini video, like maybe the myth of Thor or the myth of Zeus, or, you know, stuff like that. So I do plan on bringing my mini videos back. It's touch and go right now because, like I said, my dad is in the hospital, so he is getting the treatment he needs, and, you know, the reason I'm not there is because of this COVID thing, and I have a very strong immune system. Thank you, Lisa. I have a very strong immune system, so it's very doubtful that I would even know when I'm sick. And when I do get symptoms, that means I am very sick. So I don't want to go to the hospital, and they're making all this progress, and I come in and I give him something, and then I set him back. That's why I'm not at the hospital with him. So, you know, so let's see. I told you about my mini videos. I plan on bringing those back. I did get monetized. Yay! That's Tux back there, by the way. And yeah. So, yeah, confirmation bias definitely is a thing, Imposter Babe. The thing I want to know is why did they think that 1975 marked the end of 6,000 years of man's existence? I haven't found any explanation for that in anything I've read. It doesn't make any sense to me. But, I mean, and like I said, I haven't found any explanation. Not just a bad explanation. I haven't found any explanation. Yeah, they're good at that, aren't they? Apostle Babe. They're very good at rewriting history. So, anyway, uh, I am, since, I did get 2 videos out back to back. Marianne, that was 1914. They thought 1914 marked the end because something to do with 7 times. Oh God, it it made my brain hurt. But they got to 1914 from 607. But how did they figure 1975 marked the end of 6,000 years of mankind's existence? I got you, Pasta Babe. Yeah, it was like they got a huge influx of people in the years leading up to 1975, and then after 1975, a whole lot of people left, and they didn't start growing until 1979. But as I say in I haven't released it yet. I'm working on another Jehovah's Witness video that I haven't released yet. I don't know when I'm going to release it. Their growth in 1979 was 3.7%. But that's misleading because when you take statistics, and I have taken statistics, both in college and in grad school, you learn that basically you can make statistics say just about anything you want statistics to say. So, yes, they did, in fact, have a 3.7% increase in 1979. But they're not telling you how many people left in 1979. That's what they're not telling you. It's just like last service year, they had 300,000 baptisms, over 300,000 baptisms, and they're very proud of that fact. But what they're not telling you is how many people left. And so that's the tricky part. I mean, you can count how many people are being baptized into your organization, but unless you report the other side of the coin, which is how many people are leaving, you're not giving the whole truth. And they don't tell the truth anyway. They haven't told the truth in a very long time. They're harboring criminals. Why would they want to tell the truth? Today, probably yes, Marianne. You are probably correct in that. And, I really don't think, they can last very much longer, to tell you the honest truth. Now, I might get some flack for this, but I think Russia did the right thing in banning them. I don't think they should ban, like, individual Jehovah's Witnesses. If individual Jehovah's Witnesses want to worship the way they worship and they want to get, like, magazines to their house and all that, they should be able to do that. But the organization as a whole, I think Russia was right in banning the organization as a whole. I don't have anything against individual witnesses worshiping the way they want to worship. I have a problem with the organization as a whole. And that's exactly what Russia has a problem with, you know? So, oh, Kingdom Halls are going like crazy, Marianne. In Puerto Rico, I can't remember when this was. There was a hurricane that came through Puerto Rico, and a lot of witnesses went down, and they rebuilt 100 Kingdom Halls. Over the last year, they have sold half of those Kingdom Halls. So they are profiting from free labor. And, you know, the new Kingdom Halls, they look a lot like banks or McDonald's or whatever, you know, so they can easily sell them, you know. And I don't watch JW Broadcasting. I do watch rebuttals to JW Broadcasting. And they're spinning all of this in well, it's Jehovah's direction that we make everything multi-purpose, so that because if we make everything multi-purpose, then we can change things around to fit our needs. Well, what they're not telling you is that, oh yeah, but we're going to sell these things, and making it multi-purpose is going to make it easier to sell. Yes, Apostle Babe, I do understand that. What I'm asking is, how did they come up with the idea that 1975 marked the end of 10,000 years, or 6,000 years? That's what I don't understand. And maybe nobody does. I mean, maybe nobody does. So, anyway, unfortunately, Fred Franz had to explain the 1975 debacle because by that time Nathan Knorr had brain cancer and was at the end of his life. Thank you, Reverend Jeffrey Fandom DD. So, just for the monetization purposes and all that. Pyramidology. I heard that Russell was into pyramidology. I don't know much about pyramidology. I'll have to look at that. But, so that's where they got it. They got 1975 marked the end of 6,000 years from pyramidology. That's weird. That's like totally weird, because the Egyptians built the pyramids a long time before the Israelites even started thinking of Yahweh as their God. And yes, this is one of my pet peeves. His name's not Jehovah. It's Yahweh. Or maybe Yahuwah. They didn't have any vowels back then, so we're really not quite sure how it was pronounced, but most scholars go with Yahweh. I know William Miller taught that the end was going to be in 1844, Apostle Babe. And then that was called the Great Disappointment. And then the Millerites pretty much fizzled out after that. But, Charles Taze Russell took some of Miller's teachings and reworked them to fit his prophecy of 1878 and then 1914. So, you know, the Great Pyramid, Apostle Babe, is that what you're talking about, the Great Pyramid? So, yeah. And interestingly enough, Giza doesn't have the first pyramids. Marianne, did you see John Cedar's remix of, well, it's not really a remix. It's kind of a remix. It's a preview of what we can expect to see in his next convention rebuttal. Oh my goodness. Those... someone was talking about lemurs, and then, I kid you not, Stephen Lett is so friggin' smart, people. He actually figured out the bees make honey. Can you believe that? Stephen Lett figured out the bees make honey. The Bible didn't even exist back then, Apostle Babe. In fact, the Bible didn't even come about until probably post-exilic times. Marianne, that was so funny. I'm like, every time I need a laugh, you know, because of what I'm going through right now, every time I need a laugh, I go there. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't have a laugh at their expense, but that is so friggin' funny. And it's just like, wow, bees make honey. Yeah, we already knew that, you know. And then there was this other time Stephen Lett was doing a JW broadcast, and he was talking about, you know, God made 7,500 types of apples. Apparently, Stephen Lett doesn't know that we have 7,500 types of apples because humans cultivated 7,500 types of apples. They were not created by God. I mean, even if you want to believe in creation, which I don't, but even if you want to believe in creation, you can't say that he made all 7,500 types of apples. Yeah, he's great. I love him. He's so great. Lloyd Evans is. I mean, wow. I mean, their insight, the leadership's insight just explodes my brain. Bees make honey. Wow. You know? I don't know. It's just, oh God, it's so funny. You know, and on one of his, I think it was on the one I'm talking about, the one that gives us some, the bees make honey one. I think I put down, you should title this the dumbest convention ever. Wow, bees make honey. How'd you come up with that one, Stephen Lett? Seriously. And it's just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I cannot wait until Lloyd puts out his Lloyd puts out his rebuttal to the Friday afternoon, his full rebuttal to the Friday afternoon, because it's got to be hilarious. Talking about watermelons and bees making honey. Seriously? Apostle Babe. Actually, if you look at, it's not about the mass of the brain. And I can say this because I took psychology. It's not about the mass of the brain, and that's what these idiots don't understand. The elephant has a bigger brain than we do, by the way. They have a bigger mass brain than we do. It's not the mass of the brain that matters. It is the mass ratio between brain and body that matters. Since women are generally smaller than men, that's why they generally have smaller brains. Not by much, but they do generally have smaller brains. Now, what would be interesting is to see a woman who is the equal height of a man, the equal weight of a man. It would be interesting to compare those women's brains against the brains of men. Apostle Babe, it was somewhere on Lloyd Evans' channel, and you can probably find it on JW Broadcasting too. Anyway, it's just that, you know, they have vilified higher education for so long that now they have, and I don't mean to, you know, if there are any present JWs watching this, I don't mean to insult you personally. Your organization's another deal on entirely. But they have vilified higher education for so long that now they are scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to intellectualism. And you can tell by who they have on the governing body right now. Yeah, Marianne, that just cracked me up. That just cracked me up. Bees make honey. Gee, Stephen, it took you how long to figure that one out? Nice, Marianne. Does she know what she wants to major in? So, yeah, they're just, and Toni Morris, oh my God, that's Callie right there. Don't get me started on Toni Morris. Let's see. Lloyd Evans did a review of, actually it's called Taking on Tony 6. If you haven't seen that one, you need to go to his channel and click on Taking on Tony 6. Tony is in a morning worship session with the Bethel family. And, oh, that's another thing. That's another funny thing about Bethel. Let me get this out, and then I'll tell you about Bethel. Okay, so anyway, Tony is doing a morning worship session at Bethel, and he's talking about, focusing on, the paradise and all that kind of crap, and he goes, just let that thought absorb every cell of your body. I kid you not. Word for word. Let that thought absorb every cell of your body. Pretty much, Apostle Babe. I've never been a witness, but I've pretty much come to that conclusion, But JWs aren't the only fundamentalists that think that. If you look at the New Independent Fundamentalist Baptist Church, if you go on Raging Atheist's channel, I think it's called The Rage now. I think he changed it to The Rage. So go to The Rage, and he's got a lot of NIFB stuff. They basically think that women are nothing more than baby-making machines. Literally, that's all women are good for. They're baby-making machines. That's what the NIFB think. So, okay, getting back to Bethel. Well, there's actually two meanings to Bethel. We have Beth-El. Beth-El, which means house of El, which means house of God. Now, the interesting thing about this, cool. The interesting thing about El is that El is a separate God from Yahweh. So they haven't even named their headquarters after their own God, Jehovah, which, of course, like I said, is not his name. It's one of my pet peeves. But they have named their headquarters, if they had put that dash in there, which they did not. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. If they had put that dash in there, Beth-El, they would have named their headquarters after the head of the Canaanite pantheon, which is friggin' hilarious. Now, going back to Bethel, there is a God. Now, Beth means house of, and El means God, or one of the gods. But without that dash in between Beth and El, if you just spell the name Bethel, Bethel without the dash, that's the name of another god. So they are literally paying homage to another Canaanite god. Apostle Babe, you'll have to watch Taking on Tony 6. It's not only what he says, it's the way he says it. So yeah, so it's funny. Yes, Torin. Yes, El was a Canaanite god and Yahweh was a Midianite god. That is correct. Um, but we're not sure he started in Midian. He may have started elsewhere, but the Midianites definitely adopted him. But it is so funny that the Jehovah's Witnesses are literally honoring another Canaanite god with their headquarters name, Bethel. And like I said, even if they put that dash in there, because Bethel is the name of a god in the Canaanite pantheon. But even if you put that dash in there, Beth dash El, they are still not honoring their God, Yahweh. They are honoring the head of the Canaanite pantheon. And I just think that is hilarious. So, anyway, the Shazu, it's hard to say, Torin. It's hard to say. The Egyptians had a lot of problems with the Shazu. Now, if you look on my channel, one of the series that I have is the Emergence of Israel, and some Israelites, not all Israelites, and please get the idea out of your head that the Israelites descended from one man called Abraham. That didn't happen, but but some of the Shazu, some of the Israelites were Shazu. Some of the Israelites were Shazu. And the Egyptians, before Israel became a nation, the Egyptians talked a lot about having trouble with the Shazu. So, I don't know whether they were Midianites or not. I don't think anybody really knows. We do know the Philistines came from elsewhere. We do know the Philistines came from somewhere in the Mediterranean, maybe Greece or somewhere like that. But what ended up happening is some Philistines ended up joining the Israelites, just like some Israelites were Shazu. Some Israelites were Philistines. They did not descend from 12 brothers in Egypt. They were never slaves in Egypt. Not en masse, at least. Not en masse, like the Bible says. A few Israelites could have been slaves way back when in Egypt, but not en masse. Not like the Bible says. There was no Exodus. Yeah, Apostle Baby, you're going to have to see that because it's just, you're just going to have to hear the way he says it. So, another book, Torn, if you're interested, I'm using this book for my Emergence of Israel series. It's Beyond the Text. I don't put all the information that's in here in my series, but I do put a lot of it. So if you can't afford this book, a lot of it is in my series, but this is the book that I'm using for my series, Emergence of Israel. Another thing is we have no proof of an Israel before David, King David. we do have proof of King David. Now, we think that Saul was king over a proto-Israel, but it wasn't anything like a united monarchy, like between David and Solomon, the united monarchy. It wasn't anything like that. If Saul did have a kingdom in the proper respect that we're thinking about kingdom, it was more like a dukedom than a kingdom. Yeah, Pastor Babe. One of the things that I try, and I know you watch most of my videos, but one of the things I try to get across on my channel is that you must understand the culture in which people wrote the Bible. First of all, you can't take the Bible literally, okay? But second of all, you have to understand the culture in which the Bible was written. Because if you do not understand the culture, you're not going to understand the Bible. It's kind of like maybe like 2,000 years from now, you know, if humankind is still around, it's kind of like 2,000 years from now, somebody picks up Gone with the Wind and they think, yeah, everything that happened with Gone with the Wind really happened because, you know, there's an Atlanta, Georgia, you know. Well, and there was a Peachtree Street because there is a Peachtree Street in Georgia. So anyway, and it's still around. But anyway, it would be the same as somebody 2,000 years from now. And I'm rounding up because the Bible is not 2,000 years old. Not the entire Bible. Some of the Old Testament is around 4,000 years old. Or 3,500, somewhere around in there. But it would be like somebody 2,000 years from now picking up Gone with the Wind and thinking all of this stuff really happened. There was really a Scarlett O'Hara. There was really a Rhett Butler. Because the Civil War happened and there was an Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, the Shazu caused a lot of headaches for the Egyptians. This is before the state of Israel was established. And so, you know, and like I said, some of the Shazu did become Israelites. Some of the Philistines became Israelites. And one of the interesting things is that the Bible is not consistent. And you don't know this stuff unless you get out of the mindset of the Bible is true, you know. But thank you, Free Spirit. The Bible is inconsistent because when we're talking, okay, so if you go back to the Exodus, when the Israelites are supposedly coming out of Egypt, which, like I said, never happened. But if you go back and read that, you will find that in that story, they actually have some of the Canaanites, and I forget what this is. Probably at the end of Exodus, I think. Caleb. Caleb was not an Israelite. He was one of the Canaanites. And it actually says it in the Bible. that Caleb the whateverite and Joshua were the only, and a few Levites, were the only ones to enter the promised land from the Exodus, which, like I said, never happened. Yeah. But you will see that they call Caleb one of the Canaanite groups. Caleb was not an Israelite. Caleb was actually a Canaanite, and I can't remember which group he falls into right now. I'll have to look it up. But Caleb was not an Israelite. So my question is, if the Exodus really happened, and if the only people who were supposed to be leaving Egypt were the Israelites, how'd they get a Canaanite in there? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's William Deaver. It's called Beyond the Text. I'll leave it up. I'll keep holding it for a few minutes so you can jot it down if that's what you want to do. So, yeah. So they're not, the Bible isn't even consistent. And if you look, there are 2 Red Sea crossings. There are 2 creation stories. There's basically 2 of everything in Genesis and Exodus. And, well, how can that be? Well, I'll tell you how it can be. It's because the Bible has undergone redaction more than once. And Israel had their own, the Northern Kingdom had their own traditions, and the Southern Kingdom had their own traditions. And so when the redactioners were putting together the Bible, they redacted the Bible, but they didn't do a very good job of it because they were trying to sort of preserve both traditions. So, yeah, they didn't do a very good job in redacting the Bible. Yeah, Jerusalem's old. Yeah, Jerusalem's very old. But the city of David itself, like that, doesn't go back that far. So, yeah. Ehrman, Ehrmann, apostrophe. I've got some of his books, and I am going to do a series on his books. But yeah, he's very good at what he does. And see, Christians don't know this, and most of them don't want to know it. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to plug my ears. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to stomp my feet like a 2-year-old having a tantrum, because as long as I don't hear it, it doesn't exist. As long as I see it, it doesn't exist. But, you can only help those who want help, and that's what my channel is for. If you really want to know, what's going on with Christianity and Judaism and all that, then, come to my channel. If you don't want to know the truth, don't come. Anyway, it's going on an hour now, so I didn't see any questions. Anybody got any questions? This is supposed to be an Ask Me Anything. Torn, it's a very interesting book. Well, Torin, actually, that's a fascinating point because actually, um, the Israelites, when they became Israelites, they kind of, they melded. Well, they actually conflated a lot of gods into their God, Yahweh. So both El and Baal were conflated into Yahweh. So Yahweh took on the properties of both El and Baal. But originally they were two separate gods, yes. Robert, you can leave any questions in the comment section, okay? Hey, Compelled. So, anyway, I think I'll, okay, Marianne, have a good night. Thank you for the congratulations. So, any questions, leave in the comment section, and, share my videos with anybody you think might be interested in, knowing the truth about these things. Of course, the fundamentalists won't. They're just like, oh, you're just lying. Archaeology doesn't lie. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.